Welcome back, my dudes. This is Congrex's Prime coming at you with my opinion or review of Update 26. And guys, I have a lot of things to unpack, and hopefully, I can get it done in an orderly fashion. Now, let's go. Let's go to the nitty gritty when it comes to Update 26 because Update 26 is going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of content that's going to be thrown on the table. Now, I expected a new map, which we all knew Trumbull Valley was on the horizon. We just didn't know when it was coming out. So we got a remastered map of the original game, right? That's what Trumbull Valley is. In case anybody has never played State of Decay 1, this is what this map is. Now, what I was expecting was a new map, some new weapons, and maybe a few new bounties or whatever, maybe. And that was it. That was the end of it. That's what I thought Under the Labs was going to come out with. And I was afraid that the same thing that happened with Providence Ridge would happen with this new, slash old reamp of this map, which is we'll play it, we'll kill the hearts, and then that's it. It becomes part of the rotation. There's absolutely nothing new to the game, right? That was my assumption. And guys, I will have to say I was 100% wrong on my assumption. Undead Labs really stepped it up in this map, and it kind of it kind of breaks the game. And I'm going to explain to you guys what I mean about breaking the game, because now they set a precedence and an expectation for me from this point on. You know what I mean? Like all the old maps now, I want them to go back and add some story content as well. I don't know how they would do it, but that's what I want, because what they did here was they, SOD1, most people would say was time gated, right? So every mission, a certain amount of time and a certain amount of things had to happen for you to unlock the next, sequence of events for that particular story, because it was kind of linear. There wasn't too many options, there weren't too many things you can change in the story, and some people liked that, some people didn't. I was one of the few that did like it. I liked the interactions of the story. Although the story wasn't the greatest in the world, right? It wasn't like some old, fantastic storytelling, because it wasn't. But it was a good, decent enough story that it kept engaged. It kept you engaged, and it also, made you like some of those characters. Like for example, Marcus and Ed and Maya and all the characters that you kind of started the game with, along with Lily Ritter and her brother, and everything that was going on behind the scenes, the Wilkinsons, all this like content. And you would think that when State of Decay 2 came out, that was gonna be kind of like a jumping point for them to continue telling some of those stories, or even continue telling us what's been going on after the fact. Well, when State of Decay 2 came out, it was pretty raw, right? There was absolutely no story. You just went around and you did stuff, and that was the end of State of Decay 2, right? And of course, now with this new Trumbull Valley map, they changed that. They actually brought back some of the characters from their last DLC, the last big DLC, which was Heartland. There was actually the new content they brought in, and they expanded upon that, and they brought some of those characters in. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Unless you guys want to get spoiled, you can drop a comment below, and I can tell you guys exactly who's in there, exactly how to jumpstart those quests, because they don't all start the same way. That's another thing, and I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so I'm gonna leave this one spoiler free. Okay, that's my promise. But now you have story to State of Decay 2, besides Heartland. So what exactly is happening in Homecoming is this is X amount of time after Heartland. So if you haven't played Heartland, none of this stuff's going to make sense. If you haven't played State of Decay 1, none of this stuff is going to make sense. But it'll just be something going on, and you'll be like, okay, who are these people? If you want to find out who they are, you're going to have to play State of Decay 1 and you're gonna have to play some Heartland and get the scoop so that you understand what state is Trumbull Valley in, because there's a lot of content that's in there that you do missions for, which is awesome. By the way, Under Labs, thank you. All right, I really enjoyed playing the beta, and it kind of brought me back into a good point in my life when it came to State of Decay 2, because I was kind of getting, I won't say wore out, but I was getting kind of tired of the, mundane stuff over and over again that we do as, to just play this game. And adding all this stuff that you guys did was great. And the story is immersive enough where you can ignore it if you want to, right? You don't have to do them. It's not gatekeeped. I mean, in order to get it started, you'll have to do certain things. But in terms of like you having to do it, you don't have to. You can just keep doing. If you're not interested, hey man, just keep doing what you normally do in State of Decay 2 and just play the map how it is. If you are interested, like in my case, I was trying to figure out how to get to talk to everybody. I wanted to do everybody's quest. I wanted to figure out what's going on with, some pivot points and stuff like that, and what they brought in with Hayden Protocol and all this other stuff from Heartland. And the way Heartland left you off was kind of like, what the hell? So they did some stuff here, guys. And I think if you haven't, played State of Decay 2 in a long time, I think this will be a good time to come back, man. Like, you guys should come back and play it in whatever difficulty you want to play it in. Now, that's a lot of good stuff that I just put out, right? That's just about 7 minutes almost of just nonstop fanboying the hell out of State of Decay 2 and also Update 26. Now, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's meh, right? There's a couple things in here that are kind of meh, and of course, with the good always comes some criticism, right? And there's a few bugs in the game still that are not game-breaking, but are there. There's a few animation bugs. There's a few animation stop bugs, which, like, this is something that's been in State of Decay 2 for I don't know how long, but since I can ever remember playing, and that's, few years, where you jump certain fences or you jump certain banisters or walls, and your character takes this weird like pause for like a second or a second and a half, and he's just standing there, she's just standing there, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then you start moving. It doesn't matter if you have full stamina. It doesn't matter if you have no stamina. It's gonna do this weird lock. And in this map, at least, I notice it more. So that's one of the meh things. The other thing is the reload bug is kind of back. Like if you're holding double weapons and you pull the weapon out and you reload, your hands kind of get kind of funky. Like your character holds the gun like weird. It's not like, like you got a broken hand like in Update 25, but it's still, you can see the animation bugs. There's a gun that you get that's a new RT gun that you get from one of the bases. That's how you get this gun, by the way. You have to claim this base, which is kind of cool. And I'm gonna say it's a Red Talon base because everybody knows there's 6 new bases in the game, right? 6 brand new bases. One of them is a Red Talon base. And it's in a Red Talon outpost. You get that particular outpost, you get a gun. That gun does not have a mag right now. I'm sure they're going to fix it in the near future, probably before it even comes out of beta. They'll fix it, but that's another little glitch here and there. You're still getting what I call the Scotty glitches, which is like if you're surrounded by zombies and you execute a zombie near a wall, near an obstruction, or it's rubbing on something, it tends to trigger this weird. The zombies around you disappear. I call that the Scotty, from Star Trek. They beamed them out. So you still have that. And the other thing that I'm hoping doesn't launch with Update 26 is the insane spawn rate this game has. If you guys have been paying attention to my footage, there is no pause. And I'm talking about the actual spawn rate in this game is probably by a factor of 10 when you're in a plague territory. And you would say, well, that's cool. You're gonna fight for your life, and that's cool and all. I agree, but as you guys can see here, there are freaks coming from every angle, pharaohs coming every 5 seconds. There's, juggernauts just coming in from I don't know where, and every heart is a chaotic, nightmare for some of us. And again, some people are gonna really enjoy that. People like me are like, okay, I can deal with that in a plague territory, no problem. But whenever I make some circles of trust and I, claim an area or defeat an area and it's clean and I'm still dealing with an insane amount of plague, zombies and freaks coming at me, and all I'm trying to do is loot, and I can't, guys, and I can't. It's real frustrating. If you guys watch me on stream, you guys see me get upset trying to just, get the stuff out of out of a gas station, some fuel, and I can't, man. There's just juggernauts coming in, and you're like, bro, I just beat this area. Why am I being punished for defeating this whole area? I've cleared out, 6, 7, 8 plague hearts. I should have the freedom to go in and maybe deal with a few zombies, but not at that rate, So definitely the spawn rates are tweaked up really, really high. They might want to tone that down a little bit, especially if you're not in plague territories. When you're in plague territories, cool, man, whatever. You want to throw the kitchen sink on me, I'm ready. I'm going to war. I got to fight for the territory. I get it. But whenever I win that area, I defeat that area, I still don't win. And that can be a problem. It can get annoying, and it can definitely take away from your experience. At least it did for me. So those are my complaints, guys. That's been my experience after, about 20 plus hours of testing the beta. 12 hours out of those 20 hours have been online, and the other 6 hours have been offline. As you guys can see, this is footage of me just playing it by myself. So with no camera, just focusing on the game and playing and trying to figure out the ins and outs of update 26, because there's still a lot of things that I haven't uncovered. So that's my opinion. I know some of you guys wanted to know. I know I got some people asking me questions on chat when I was streaming. I tried my best to answer, and sometimes I missed it. So hopefully, if you guys didn't get your question answered, this video did just that. If I was to rate update 26 from a scale from 1 to 5, I'll definitely give it a strong 4. Again, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than update 25.2. That's for darn sure. So again, guys, thank you so much. Under Labs, again, fantastic job with this update. Hopefully what I'm playing in this beta is what actually gets transferred over to everybody else on September 1st. This will launch September 1st for everybody else that doesn't have a Steam copy. So hopefully you guys, get to play it then. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this review. And that's all I have for now. You guys have a great day and night. Light, love, and peace. Congrexes. Checking out.